Gambling was my relationship. It was like a secret admirer, and I was infatuated with it. So my friend's father, who also had some just issues with gambling, was sort of talking about it, and that's sort of what came across with me, and I sort of put my hand up and said, yeah, that's sort of what I've gotten myself into with a hole. This is my last chance, this is my last bet. The anxiety of the unknown, because I was so used to it. When you're in a cycle of addiction, you're so used to being numb. And when I did share a bit with people, it was just like a whole avalanche of pressure and weight came off my shoulders, because it was a sense that I'd never felt before. I was like, wow, I can talk about this.
Anyone can be affected by gambling harm. And the research has shown us that 1 of 5 Victorians, they experience some sort of gambling harm. One person experiencing problem gambling, usually 6 other people are affected by it.
You know, it's the ripple effect of harm. And I didn't really recognize that. And if somebody sort of came to me and just said, you know, it's not just about you, look at everybody else around you, maybe that would have sat with me.
The best way for people to reach out for support is to actually start talking to someone they trust. It could be a GP, it could be their best friend, it could be their spouse, it could be someone at Lifeline, someone at Beyond Blue, but just to start the conversation.
When somebody in a situation like that approaches you as a family, I'd really encourage that you talk to them in a very non-confronting, non-judgmental way.
So many ways that gambling can affect you, like your self-esteem, your identity, your mental health, your physical health, of course, like financial stress, your relationships with friends, with family, also your cultural identity. Perhaps gambling is something that is not accepted in your culture, so it's really hard to talk about it.
One of the most challenging things for a person experiencing gambling harm is the shame, the feeling of shame. People feel that they're being judged, and that sometimes when they relapse, they're going to be judged again. So I would say to people that the road to recovery is not always smooth, and there may be relapse, but it doesn't mean that there is no way back.
Because of that shame, which is really carried on. So it's quite hard in that respect. But I just tend to say, you know, just start off by reaching out or speaking about it. You know, if you feel like it's getting a little bit out of control, a little bit out of hand, it's okay. You know, speak to somebody about it.
The most significant strategies are actually people understanding their limits and their triggers. Self-exclusion has worked well. Feeling supported is another method, and seeking appropriate professional help. It might not just be with gambling support workers, it could be professional psychologists, could be with GPs.
Finding somebody who you trust can be part of the strategy itself. So it can be somebody close, your dad, your mom, your brothers, sisters. It can be friends, just anybody. And also we'll look at triggers. What are your triggers? What triggers you to gamble? Starting
and realizing that gambling is harming your life. Just talking about it is step one. Talk to anybody you feel comfortable, and anybody you trust. Could be the person down at the milk bar. I mean, that's a start. And then that sort of leads you into getting some support, because you can't do it alone. I didn't do it alone. Nobody does it alone. You have your ups and downs, but I'm just living. And I wasn't living previously, and that's the difference. And it's tough, but it's living. And it's just strengthened me to who I am and what I am today.